I have a secret to tell you, and my God, he really wants to play today. But I've got a secret to tell you. Over the last few weeks, I've been posting these Super 16 shot collection videos. And if you know anything about Super 16 aspect ratio, you'll know that it's a little bit larger than 4:3, and the videos I've been posting are 4:3. And if you take even a better look, which you don't have to be a genius to figure this out, but you'll see that it's not actually film, it's just film emulation, and it's probably not really that good in and of itself, but it's kind of cool. So here's what I found. I found this free app that emulates film for you, and they have a lot of different stocks to choose from. And they do have like a paid model for it, or like a paid subscription, but I don't really like paying for subscriptions, so I didn't decide to do that. And the free version is honestly just as good as like what I would want. You get all these different film stocks to choose from, and then it only shoots up to 1080p unless you pay for the free version. But again, for what it is, I think free is just fine. I'm cool with only shooting 1080p on this. And my biggest enjoyment for this came from like the idea of like those like turret style cameras from back in the day. Like I don't know if they were 8mm or 16mm, but they had like the three lenses on it, and then you would have like some kind of switch. I don't really know how this thing works, right? But like you would like kind of switch it from like one lens to the other, and so like you'd be shooting, then switch it, and you just get the other lens, right? Well, anyway, I think that's kind of cool because, like, for me personally, I have the iPhone 13 Pro, and then it has the three lenses on there. So I have a wide, super wide, and then the telephoto. I think it's kind of cool where like it kind of reminds me of like what it might feel like to shoot with one of those turret style cameras back in the day. The best camera is the one that you have on you, and like as much as I want to bring a real camera with me all the time, I don't always have it on me, but I always have my phone on me. And so there will be plenty of times where I'm just like on a job or I'm doing something else, and then like I just pull out my phone and start recording a quick little thing because I like the aesthetic of it and I like the convenience of it. And I hate the stock camera app on the iPhone because it looks like trash, but the emulation kind of like embraces that and just add like all these layers to it, right? And where it's just like it's honestly great for what I'm wanting. Don't know if it'll fit what everyone else wants, but it fits what I want. And so yeah, I don't know. I just figured I'd like pop on here really quick today and just kind of like showcase this a little bit. It has some cool features to it where like if you look here, you can turn on different levels of stabilization, but depending which one you turn on, it does become a little laggy, and so it's not like the best at that. You can change which lens you want to look at. You can see the dog here. What the dog doing? Switch different lenses around. You can change their aspect ratio, but here you can see where it's like asking you to pay for certain things, and it's kind of it's like pretty cheap, but I don't know. It's just nothing really I want or need from that, you know. But I always keep it in the 4:3. You have your different options, so you can have it in the normal mode. You just have like I think a little bit of grain on top of that, and then you have like you have your raw and your printed versions of certain things. Um, I'm not super familiar with like all the different film stocks, but this has been kind of fun to be able to like kind of take a look and see what certain film stocks might look like. So, for example, I do want to shoot with 500T one day, and then here's like an option for that. And then they do have these other ones that you would have to pay for to see what they look like, and then some black and white options. And I'm not sure exactly what these color grading ones are, but you have so many different versions for all this. But as far as like your main Kodak stocks, I think you have like some decent options for like what you would want to look at. Vision 3 it has been on my wanting to shoot list for so long, but it's expensive. But I usually keep it on 50D, and then you have some exposure options and focus options, so you can change your ISO, your shutter speed, and your focus distance, which is kind of cool. I usually just leave it in auto because again, like this is a pretty simple thing. You can switch it over to the selfie camera. You can do a film burn effect. You can take a picture with this. You can import a video or a picture if you want. And I thought that was kind of cool if you have something in your gallery that might fit this aesthetic, you could try throw it on. What I noticed though is that it does seem to like artifact a little bit more and just comes out to be like a lower quality than if you were actually shooting with this app. If you tap on the screen anywhere, it'll come up with all these settings here so that you can like take a look at different kinds of things that you can change. So if you want more grain, you can add that. If you want less, you can like take it out completely. There's always this reset button if you want to just take it back to what it originally was. You can adjust the color temperature. I usually try to keep it a little bit warmer because from what I've seen at least, or from what I've heard, is film is a little bit warmer anyway. Up the saturation, exposure compensation. There's this gate weave. It's like that flicker effect from old cameras that you get sometimes with like lower quality ones, right? But yeah, blur it a little bit more, blur it a little bit less. So all these different options you can take a look at and try. I don't know. I just thought it was a fun little thing. I don't expect anyone to kind of take this app seriously, and I certainly wouldn't shoot like a full short film on it. At least not one that like I'm actually putting money behind. But if it was just like kind of on a whim, let's just go shoot something, I'd shoot on this, no problem. I actually have, I think my first video with this was Dreamscape #1, which you can take a look at. I'll link it down in the comments or the description. You can take a look at that, and that was my first time using this app, and I thought it was interesting and fun, and I've kept using it ever since. So yeah, I just want to like kind of briefly talk about this. So if you want to check it out, do it. If not, if you think it's not the best, you're technically right. It's not the best app, but it works. And yeah, thanks for watching this, and have a good one.